The Oulton Caterham 7 270R Championship arrives at Oulton Park in Cheshire for the third round of the 2019 Championship. Arriving here at Oulton Park, it's Justin Heap with the championship advantage, ahead of double winner last time out Daniel Halstead, with Daniel French third. Neil Fraser and Toby Klaus round out the top five. It was Matt Shepherd who started on pole for the first race of the weekend, but Daniel French from the outside of row one would lead the field into Old Hall Corner. Whilst the leaders got through in one piece, there was drama behind, as James Gilmore had a spectacular spin and was lucky to be avoided by the pack. There was more drama at Lodge as James de Lusignan rotated and collected Tom Allen in spectacular fashion. Several of the drivers were involved, and with cars scattered across the circuit, the safety car was called for. On the restart, Daniel French made the break and pulled away into a lead that he would not give away. The real battle was for second place, with James Murphy and Justin Heap swapping places almost by the corner, allowing Matt Shepherd to join in the fun as well. Matt eventually moving through into second position with a spectacular three-wide move at Lodge. Then disaster struck for race leader French. The front left wheel parted company with his car, the red flag was thrown, and French was declared the winner, and he took a fortunate first victory of the year. Well, that victory for Daniel French means that he starts on pole for our second race of the weekend, with Matt Shepherd, the Silverstone winner, alongside him. He will be looking to try and make a good start here to go after Daniel French. Chris Moore here starts fourth on the grid, the highest placed driver on the grid who has yet to have a win this season. I wonder whether this could be his time to get on the top step of the podium. A big 31-car grid then, about to go racing on the Oulton Park International Circuit for round number 6 of the Oulton Caterham 7 270R Championship. The red lights go out. Now away we go. The launch towards Old Hall Corner begins. French on the left, Shepherd on the right. French has his nose in front, I think, and the preferred line into Old Hall Corner, so the blue and yellow 77 car will lead them through the first right-hander. And do we get everybody safely through on this occasion? Let's find out. So far so good. Couple on the grass further back. Oh no, there's contact. Off goes the number 8 car there of John Isherwood. 72 Mark Smith, I think, tagged him. There's a third car involved as well. And sadly, once again, Old Hall Corner is the scene of calamity for a few of the midfield runners. Everybody else, though, has safely got through, and hopefully those three should be able to rejoin. Certainly looks like one car is, and I reckon John Isherwood's number 8 machine might be able to get going. No real sign of life, though, from Mark Smith's 72 car, so that may be stuck and may require a safety car. Diving up the inside, there goes car number 6. That's Justin Heap, winner from early in the season. Championship leader coming into this race, but he runs wide on the exit of the corner and stays in 4th position, as the safety car is, perhaps unsurprisingly, thrown. Not for the first time this weekend in the 270R Championship, and that is the reason why the 72 car of Mark Smith, who I think is the first car to rotate, there he is, the orange car bouncing over the grass crease, spins into the track, clatters into John Isherwood, and the third car involved, I believe, is Richard Clegg, the 76 car, who came away from that with minimal damage, I reckon, but sadly, quite a lot of damage sustained for the other two cars. Well, ready for a restart then, Daniel French, leaving it very late to go, but now he does go, steps on the loud pedal, through the dip, over Deer Leap, and look at the lead that he's pulled out over Matt Shepherd. Now in race 1, it was a good safety car restart that helped Daniel French pull away into a lead that he wouldn't really lose until the checkered flag, because he broke the toe. We see all the time in Caterham racing, if you can break the slipstream, that's half the battle. There's lots of battling going on further back though. Chris Moore there trying to go up the inside. We're on board now with the number 11 car. Chris Moore has had a bit of a frustrating season at times, just outside the top 10 in points arriving here at Oulton Park, and he might be about to lose a place to Greg Monks there. The number 5 car was looking up the inside through Cascades, but to no avail. On board with Shepherd, very much going after Daniel French then. In second position, he has still got a slipstream, and on what is actually a surprisingly high-speed circuit here at Oulton Park, that does play a big part in Caterham racing. Shell comes that battle behind, so there wasn't a change between Greg Monks and Chris Moore on that occasion, and this leading group of 5 or 6 cars just starting to make a break now at the head of the field. Through the left-hander and Britain's clobbering the curbs. Not too hard though, because that can unsettle the car and lead to you pointing the wrong way in a hurry. Back with Chris Moore then over hilltop. You can see the rise and fall of what is a spectacular circuit here at Oulton Park, one of the real drivers' favourites. Limited overtaking opportunities in some categories of racing, but in Caterham racing it seems you can overtake pretty much wherever the mood takes you. Right now though, they are staying single file in this lead group, out of Knickerbrook, up Clay Hill, This is another one of those really high-speed sections, though, where the slipstream starts to bunch everybody back together again. Chris Moore not really quite close enough, though, to Justin Heap in front of him. Indeed, Justin starting to break away from him slightly. There's the train of cars next behind, and the number 25 car, that is, that's trying to do some defending. That's Neil Fraser, just towards the back end of the top 10 for the time being. So the first full racing lap about to be completed, with Daniel French the race leader. Almost a move made there up the inside into Lodge Corner. That was 79 Lewis Thompson trying to get past Neil Fraser. Novice Cross on the back of his car, meaning that he's a relative newcomer to racing, and a spin at Druids there. That, I think, is Darren Holcroft who's gone off. And is that car going to be beached? He's spinning the rear wheels but finds some traction, and it is indeed the number 75 car of Holcroft who rejoins the circuit, having lost a few places. No serious damage done. Back with the lead battle then, Matt Shepherd here, the aerial view looking out over the top of his helmet as he rushes out of Cascades. Further back, the usual midfield dicing, though, is still going on, as we so often see in this championship. 63 there, defending the inside line through Lodge Corner and trying to continue to defend the position on the exit of the turn. And that is Scott Parker at the head of what is a particularly fierce battle. Considering that these cars are fighting for a position at the back end of the top 20, it really is still no holds barred racing. 64 is the man trying to get through Neil Evans with another Novice Cross on the back of his car. Ducking and diving, pulls to the right-hand side of the road down towards Denton's. That gives him the outside line for Cascades, and it's a brave man who tries to go around the outside at that particular corner. Neil Fraser, meanwhile, still keeping his elbows out here to keep Greg Monks at bay. And behind them both now appears to be Chris Moore. So Chris Moore, yeah, unfortunately dropping down the order slightly now. On-board camera, unfortunately not bringing him much luck. Well, there's some luck for him, though, because off in front of him goes Neil Fraser. That was one of the easiest places that Chris will gain all day long. Neil Fraser with a lazy spin at the Britain chicane. Couldn't quite see how that started, but that is a fairly common place to go off, as I suggested earlier on. Let's see if the external shot tells us any more. Hits the curb, loses the rear, and the car turns left when it should turn right. Thankfully, he avoids the barriers, though, and Neil, again, is lucky in a way in that he is able to rejoin, having not only not damaged the car, but not lost too many places. Battle for the race lead, though, is well and truly joined. Daniel French under all sorts of pressure and about to lose the race lead. He slides out wide, but it's not Matt Shepherd that's gone past him, is it? Because Matt Shepherd has also dropped down the order slightly. He's now recovering back into second position, but that's James Murphy in the black and orange number 3 car that has taken the race lead away. Shepherd coming through into second place. Can Daniel French go right round the outside at Old Hall Corner to fend him off? Yes, he can. Find some real traction on the outside line. And in fact, Shepherd with the tight inside line. It looked good on the entry, but on exit, he's a little bit slow off the corner. And so Greg Monks in the number 5 car, who's been carving his way up the order through the middle portion of this race, is almost able to move ahead of him. So, new race order then. James Murphy leading the way, Daniel French second, Matt Shepherd third, and Greg Monks fourth. Any one of these 4 drivers could legitimately win this race. Still, they're all out of shape through Island Bend as they start to push these cars slightly beyond the limits of adhesion. But James Murphy out in front is, in a way, the sitting duck now, isn't he? He's the one that's punching the hole in the air for everyone behind to follow through. That, in theory, makes their cars go quicker in a straight line, and that is more than often how you build an overtaking challenge in Caterham racing. Over the curbs again, up over hilltops, steep uphill acceleration zone, and then they appear back into view where Daniel French is surely going to attack for the race lead down at Hislops. Looks to the outside, but there's nothing doing there. James Murphy driving down the middle of the road so as not to overly defend and hold everybody up, but equally trying to deter French from launching a move up the right-hand side of the road there. Both the leading 2 run a little bit wide out of Knickerborough Corner, and indeed we are hearing that James Murphy is being investigated for exceeding track limits, so we'll wait and see if anything comes of that. Meanwhile, he's got more things to worry about because Daniel French pulls alongside him into Druids Corner. On the outside line, though, that leaves the door open momentarily for Matt Shepherd, who can't quite pick the pocket of the race 1 winner. Down towards Lodge Corner they go then. James Murphy in the race lead. Daniel French under pressure from Shepherd again for second place. Shepherd looking at the inside. Can't quite get through there, though. Out of Lodge, through Deer Leap, over the hill, and James Murphy has put in a great defensive drive. We'll see the checkered flag, but we are hearing has been given a time penalty for exceeding track limits. So Daniel French essentially is a double race winner here at Oulton Park. Dramatic stuff at the front of the field. Further back, there are still battles going on. This is the fight for 14th, would you believe? Al Melton with Ollie Pratt involved in this as well. No matter where you are up and down the order, you've got someone to play with, and it looks as though Melton will hang on to 14th place in car number 95. James Murphy wins on the road, but is given a time penalty that will drop him down to 5th position. There is confirmation of that result then. 5th for Murphy, Heap is 4th. Greg Monks gets on the podium with Matt Shepherd 2nd, and a double race victory for Daniel French.
They feel a couple of like hollow victories really. What happened in the first race where I didn't cross the finish line in first but still won because the wheel came off, and then this race I didn't cross the finish line in first either. You know, James drove really well, but unfortunately got a penalty for track limits. I'm happy with the points that I've scored for the championship this weekend, and yeah, it's turned things around a bit for me, so I'm really happy.
The start was really kind of sensible. We all kind of worked together to pull a gap, and then the last few laps are really good fun.
It was hard work, to be honest. We just had to keep it tidy, keep it together, and I ended up teaming up basically with Chris, and we raced a lot together last year, so we know when not to fight, and we just felt, well, if we just keep it in line now and just keep pushing, then there is a chance towards the end when that first pack of 4 cars start battling that we can catch up with them.
Well, that double race victory for French moves him solidly into championship contention, now just 13 points off the championship leader Justin Heap. Daniel Halstead joint second though, ahead of Neil Fraser and Greg Monks. A great weekend for Daniel French, 2 fortuitous but valuable race victories.